I figure I better start over and mute the phone. I can't wait till the political season's over. You get all these calls and all these texts. Want you to vote this way or that way or the other way. There's only two options. So, this way or that way. Anyways, I already made a couple of videos I didn't post. Because one of them I was like right after the bad news hit. And yeah, this may get a little explicit for some people. It's kind of why I didn't put the other videos up. This one video was kind of just long and boring, and I'm like, same old, same old. And the other video is much more interesting. But yeah, there's no need to. I'll never forget. Like I'm watching benzo people's videos, learning about their other people's experience, and this guy's talking about his anal cyst, and like, yeah, I just can't hang, you know. So I try to put myself in your shoes. It's like you don't want to hear about nothing like that either. But this is something that somebody that has to self-catheterize on a regular basis has to deal with infection because that's not a natural act. And the possibility of introducing enteric organisms into your urinary tract happens. Somehow, technical language can be even more gruesome than just the blunt truth. But this looks like it could be another case of epididymitis. I'm not swollen. It's a swollen, infected testicle. I'm not swollen. Um, I feel pain. I don't really have any symptoms but pain and the initial symptoms that I had on Thursday and Friday, which is blood. So I'll leave it at that. I got too explicit like in the last thing. And I imagine it was maybe a good video. I just kind of like was talking, just trying to calm myself down because it just happened. I just realized it was horrific. I mean, just horrific. Like, yeah. I mean, I thought about like other videos where people were talking about, you know, their horrible physical problems that are just nasty. And I'm like, well, if I don't want to hear it, why would anybody else want to hear it? So, yeah, but it started like Thursday. I feel a little better today. I've got pain though. That's not good. I mean, we're talking about this is a horrifyingly painful condition. I don't know. I've had it maybe like 3 times. Uh, I don't have a doctor unless I want to like make an appointment with a new doctor, the one that hurt my leg, or their office hurt my leg. I've never seen the actual doctor, but I mean, this is kind of a better off going to the emergency room type of thing because you get you got to sit in the emergency room for 5 hours, which is a party, and freeze your ass off if you're me, because you don't like being covered up. But it's it's better than waiting 5 days. You know, I mean, this is the kind of thing where minutes draw out like a blade and cut you. I mean, yesterday I was looking at the clock and I was thinking, clock's moving awful slow, and I got pain today, but the final nail in the coffin will be if I see swelling. I mean, and bleeding has subsided, but this is just typical, man. It's really bad timing. It's kind of my fault for being, you know, not keeping a clean bathroom and not being as careful as I need to be, and being too cheap to buy new supplies. So I blame myself for this situation. Um, it's unfortunate, but it's nothing I haven't dealt with before. It's terrible. I mean, it's horrifyingly painful. They don't always give you medication for it either. I didn't get any pain medication, which means uptick in benzo use to cope with the pain, or maybe just I got a bunch of Neurontin. I can just take a bunch of Neurontin. I don't know if they don't give me a pain medication. But I'm thinking too far ahead because I don't know if this is the kind of thing you can get over without medical help and antibiotics. There's a very specific antibiotic for this. And if my doctor, if I still had my old doctor, I could maybe even just call him on the phone and not even have to go in. Just get a script called in for this. Because last time I went into him, he just talked to me about it. You know, uh, I think that might have been after an emergency room visit though, so that maybe that don't count. I don't know. But yeah, it's been a nice week. Last week was not good, man. Last week was just not good. There was too many bad things happening, and this trumps them all, of course. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Got rejected by the orthopedist. Um, the day before that, something happened. I don't remember what it was. Um, yeah. Then after I got rejected by the orthopedist, then um, I think that was Wednesday morning when I found that out. And then Thursday night is when I found out I have a possibly horrifically painful condition. I mean, it hurts right now, and I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I can maybe call that doctor's office and see when I can get an appointment in there. It's not really an emergency room type of situation, except for that it hurts really, really bad. I mean, really bad. So yeah, like I said, man, it's like my bathroom's a nightmare. I should have had it cleaned. Well, I wanted to have it cleaned during like the COVID thing, and then afterwards, it's just so filthy. Like afterwards, I was like not caring. Not to make a pun, but I got cocky about the whole thing. It's like you have to be careful, like all the time. Then I was like, well, I had trouble with my. I don't want to go into it, man, but I had trouble with my leg, which kind of made me careless. With my leg hurting like it was, it's like, um, man, I don't know if I want to go into this stuff. I suppose you can handle it, but in order to, um, retard bacteria, I just started like, um, this is this is not a fun life. I just started like putting buying enormous amounts of um, like a pack of 500 of sandwich bags, and then I would change the sandwich bags periodically, seal them up, and then throw them in like one of the vegetable drawers in my refrigerator. Yeah, that's right, because it just makes sense, if the cold retards other kinds of bacteria, retard that kind of bacteria. And as a matter of fact, when I told the aid worker to like clean out my refrigerator door, she like opened the drawer with them in there. I'm sure she got a shock, but yeah, it seems nasty and horrible, but you have to keep those things really clean, and they're sealed in bags. So, this is my life, man. It's not a party. Um, it's not fun. The other videos were worse, believe me. Especially the one where it happened freshly, and I was freaking out because I never. It's not like I haven't had that happen before as far as bleeding. It's just like the circumstances were just weird. Um, but yeah, things aren't good. I just thought I'd update you briefly that things aren't good. You know, um, I've been, and it's just me here. I don't have like anybody help me out. It's like last time this happened to me, I called my foster brother, who I don't talk to anymore, and who I was already having problems with, and like I got him to take me to the emergency room. I think it was in the middle of winter, and it was really nasty out, and we sat in the room together, like waiting. And I said, I'd like us to be friends again, and we did the handshake thing and everything, and then you know more he did more crap, and I realized that he wasn't ever going to change. People in their 50s don't change. But he might have been as a young pup of 49 at the time. Um, so really, like, I'm thinking, like, can my aid worker drive me to the emergency room if it comes down to it? People go to the emergency room over anything, but this is like, just tell them like I got severe pain, and and it's humiliating, and you have to have ultrasound done on you, and you don't have to, but they always want to. You can just tell them what it is, and it's a horrible life. Nobody, anybody would want to opt out on this motherfucker. But I do actually do feel better today. I mean, I felt like sick and feverish um, Friday and Saturday. So I actually do feel. I started to feel better yesterday, and I didn't eat much. I was like, I didn't eat much for a couple of days, and I had like a temperature of 99.3 or something like that. But it might have just been hot in the room. But I felt feverish. I don't feel great now, as far as like in general, but I feel better than I have. Um, yeah, this is something you want to catch early too, and I don't want to go to the hospital with this COVID nonsense going around either. I mean, having to wear a mask, and there'll be all kind of extra precautions, and maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the only precautions will be like they take at the dentist's office, where everybody just wears a mask. I mean, I don't know. This is really bad timing for me because I can't even remember the other bad thing that happened, but something else bad happened besides me getting rejected by Omni Orthopedics. And it was like two bad things in a row. And then this is three bad things in a row in the space of 3 days. This is really bad timing for me to get sick because I don't really have a doctor. I mean, I can call and make an appointment, or just call and feel them out and see if they want me to make an appointment. They had an appointment for me to have like a full physical, but I don't know. I kind of think the emergency room's a better option, and there ain't nobody here to hold my hand over this stuff. And yeah, it's emotionally draining. Like I said, I feel like it's kind of my fault. It's like I wasn't completely careless, but I was kind of careless. You know, can't afford any kind of carelessness. Like, said, my leg would hurt, so sometimes I'd forget to put this thing in the refrigerator. So you have, a bag with a catheter in it sitting on your bathroom sink, and it's sitting at room temperature in water, possible bacteria bleeding. But I was told, I mean, I was way more careless in my younger days, but I was younger, stronger, and healthier. I used to just wrap the thing up in toilet paper. I wouldn't even bother with like a plastic bag. I mean, I would go places and just like I said, just wrap it up in toilet paper. I would go on trips and stuff, and I had less problems when I was younger. Um, so I don't know how this happened, except for that I've been more careless than I usually have. My bathroom's really filthy. So yeah, I mean, it's what it is. I mean, if I've had it like 3 times, I think. Um, I, I don't think it's something you can get over without medical help. I don't think it's something you want to get over without medical help. I mean, tomorrow I could just, make a point of going to the emergency room over it. Just say I'm in horrific pain. I might even be in horrific pain. I don't know if the aid workers will give you transportation and drop you off in the emergency room if you tell them you need it. I could lie to her and tell her like it's my heart, and then when I get dropped off, tell them the truth, and that's not my heart. It's a little lower than that. And then they'll give me some pills eventually after 5 hours in there of misery. I'm uncomfortable in my own house, alone in a freezing, and it's cold here. There was snow on the ground this morning. It's like, yeah, I just kind of have to remind myself that this is something that I've gone through before. I've gotten over it before. I'm not even like swollen up. I'm just hurting because I mean it swells up considerably. That's what I could do tomorrow. And I'll be okay. Just tell her I don't know. They take people to like doctor's appointments and stuff. I know that like those aid workers, they go with people. They go along with people on doctor's appointments. I mean, I don't know. It's really weird. Like I could tell them I think I have something wrong with my heart, and I also have this. I mean, it's way too much thinking for somebody that's in pain and distress to try to figure out. So, you know. So if you're curious, like what's been going on with me, yeah, this is what's been going on with me. Hellish nightmare. So same old, same old. You know, it's just less hellish at times. Um, there's really nothing to say. Like I suppose that one video was entertaining, but I didn't want to sit through it. I fell asleep when I was like listening to it, and I just don't. It's a little too graphic. And I mean, like you're like, this isn't graphic. It's like this is a little better. Just like that's one of the symptoms. You know, there's few things in life more horrifying than bleeding out of your special little friend. just one of the symptoms. I mean, I've been okay. I've been not having that problem. Um, Saturday and Sunday, but I got the pain, and I'm not feverish. I mean, I don't know what to make. Usually it's like you just notice like you're swollen up, and then you're like, oh no, and then you lie to yourself and try to make it like not true. But I've had like the one symptom like right off the bat, which surprised the hell out of me, and the symptoms are just like out of order for this. But it's, you know, any guys that might be listening to this can only imagine, you know, the women can only imagine, the guys can imagine a little bit better about how horrifically painful this is. And yeah, I think they gave me Vicodin one time for it, codeine. So they actually hand out, you know how they are about substances nowadays. They actually hand out like controlled substances. The one time they handed me out nothing for it, I was shocked. But I think I had some stuff at home that was left over. But it's been a while since I've had this problem, so you know, yeah. So yeah, this is just, yeah, this is all I'm going to talk about. It's like there's no reason for me to explore it anymore. You get it. I'm in pain. I'm sick. I'm alone. I have to do the thinking for myself when it's kind of hard to think when you're in pain and you're alone and you're in distress. I have to figure out like, yeah, this is probably best as an emergency room visit because I'll get immediate. You need to get those antibiotics in you as soon ASAP as soon as possible. Like you need me to explain it, whatever. And yeah, that's your best course of action. So maybe tomorrow will be a real fun day. Um, I mean, I can tell them like I'm between doctors and I didn't really have any other option. I mean, if I call a doctor, I'm not going to get in there and like I don't want to go back to that doctor anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff all at once. I can't even remember what the other thing was, but something else bad happened last week, but I just can't remember what it is. I don't because I got like a mind numbing testicular pain right now, and I have to. I don't have anybody to talk to about this that can like help me out as far as like okay, you should do this. It's like it's I've had experience with this before. I know that the best course of action is to suffer through the horrible emergency room trip, and calling an ambulance for this will be tricky because it'd be like yeah, what do I say on the 911 call? You know, I've got a whole lot of pain like in my abdomen and down in my testicular region. I mean, I don't know what happened. I'm doubled over in pain. I don't know. If I could get the aid worker maybe to drive me in tomorrow, I don't know. I don't think this is something you get over though on your own. And who would want to if this like drags on? I've been drinking a whole ton of water and taking these cranberry extract pills. Yesterday was the first day I ate really good. or ate full meals anyway. I don't know if I ate really good, but I've been taking vitamins and drinking a lot of water and taking a lot of cranberry extract pills. But that's for like urinary infection. That's not for like anything that gets in your, uh, the epididymitis thing. Then there's this horrible, horrible fact that I found out that they have a condition called chronic epididymitis, where you get it so many times that it's a chronic type condition. This would be my fourth go around with this, you know, in a period of yeah, over a long period of time. But I found that out, man, it scared the shit out of me. That it's just something that would be flaring up from time to time. Well, there's just so many things wrong with me. It's like I just kind of feel like I should be put down. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. Of course, you're not going to be thinking clearly when you're in this situation, but there's a lot of things wrong with me. And then when you get to the point where like doctors are like, "Oh, you're too sick to treat," because that's really what it's about when you get rejected by an orthopedist who takes your insurance, and it's their job to help people that have your type of problems. They were like, that they're like, well, this guy in Cleveland Clinic didn't want him. We don't want him. That's what it means. It's like, yeah, this is something we don't want to deal. If I was some 25-year-old who didn't have a heart condition, who didn't have CRPS, you can be damn well sure they would take me as a patient. But because I'm an older gentleman with a bad heart and CRPS, and also happen to be taking benzodiazepine, which of course looks bad as far as like, oh, he's got anxiety, so he's got a psychiatric history. He's got psychiatric issues, rather, and he's got heart issues, and he's got some weird disease we're not familiar with dealing with. This guy's too fucked up, man. We don't want to deal with him because there's more of a chance that things will go badly. It's like they're basically telling you, like, you're too sick to be treated. It's like cancer patients get better treatment. They get more respect. If I had cancer in my knee, they would probably help me. If there's such a thing as cancer of the knee. Um, so yeah, that was already in a bad frame of mind, and this is like the worst. It's the worst possible timing for this. I mean, there's no happy face to put on this. There's no. Yeah, I, this is another ordeal that I'm going to have to go through, and every day is a trial. Every day is an ordeal. And I know a lot of y'all got conditions and whatnot where you go through things on a daily basis. So, you know, one person got fibromyalgia, another person got other issues. A lot of y'all got issues. So I just got a lot of different things, man, going on at once. And I might seem like a tough cat and all, but everybody has it's the cool hand Luke rule. Everybody has their limits, and I did not take any pills this morning. This is just me in a lot of pain. In case I seem dopey, I get dopey when I'm in a lot of pain. I did take 3 Neurontin, a Valium, and and some melatonin last night, but it's been about 12 hours since I did that. So yeah, this is where the supportive family would be nice, but they can't handle it. I wrote my brother-in-law an email, and I'm like, I can understand that it's a lot for someone to deal with when a loved one gets sick. But imagine it, the person that actually has to deal with it. If you can't deal with it by proxy and just be supportive, and if you can't handle it when it's not happening to you, what about the guy it's happening to? You know, like I can understand, like I said, when you're in a forest and a tree is falling, the natural response is to get out of the way and back the fuck off. I kind of understand that, you know. But when you're the tree, it's yeah. I understand that impulse to back away, and I understand that it's a lot to deal with when a loved one's got a lot of issues. But when you're the tree, when you're the one doing the falling, when you're the one that's got the issues, yeah, when you're the one that's going down, yeah, imagine it from my perspective. I'm so grubby. It's no wonder I got sick. It's not taking care of myself. And like I said, since my knee got wrenched on the 22nd, and, it got a lot worse, I was less inclined to take care of myself or to do anything. I tried for my response to getting rejected by the orthopedist was to try my knee out and to walk on it and to clean up my living room and to do some other housework for 2 days. Um, Wednesday and Thursday before what happened Wednesday Thursday night happened, and it didn't go too well. My leg swelled up and hurt pretty bad. So, and that's another thing. It's like I don't know if I'm hurting or helping my knee by using it, because I don't know. Nobody will like treat me for my knee, so I don't know. I don't even know if like I know I have to walk if I want to maintain my independence, but I don't know if I'm actually doing more harm than good walking on my leg. I could be tearing something up in there. There's certain conditions where you have to rest because I don't know what that guy did. I don't want to go back in there, but at the same time, well, I need an orthopedist is what I need. I need somebody to like address the issues that are going on in my knee, and I don't have that. And the more I'm talking about it, the more depressing it's getting to me. The more worried I'm getting. It's supposed to make you feel better to talk about things, but it's just a bad situation. You know, it's a lot. So I won't make this too long and too painful. The other videos I made were like 2 hours, and one of them I think was pretty interesting. I actually talked for like 2 hours in two separate videos. I didn't put either of them up. Um, One of them just was like, yeah, don't get attached to me because I don't know if I'm going to be around too much longer. When it first happened, because I was just not in a good frame of mind, and that's not helpful to people. You know, it is true though. You shouldn't get too attached to me. I'm probably not going to be around much longer. Just enjoy me while you got me. If I am enjoyable, I don't know. Um, but yeah, don't get attached to me. I said in that one, like, there's a reason why I never pursued a significant other. It's like that would be a form of cruelty. Get somebody attached to me. Because this was in the cards all along. I mean, I knew this from the time I was 20 years old. I had some illusions in my head, like I could stay at a certain stage of CRPS and just stay there, or like CRPS can actually be knocked into remission if it's caught early. And yeah, I sort of like that's what I did in the one video is I ran through my history of like how I was living in that really old building that actually had a separate hot and cold faucet in both the kitchen and the bathroom. It had instead of one faucet, it had two faucets, a hot water faucet and a cold water faucet. That's how old the building was. I lived there for 15 years and paid almost no rent. You know, the highest rent I ever paid there was $255 with all utilities included. And yeah, that meant I had a lot of extra money, even though I wasn't getting. I get way more money now. But I have, this place is relatively cheap at 425 plus electric. I mean, that's really cheap. It's also a hellish place to live, but it's really cheap. So, but yeah, that was the best time in my life, and it's like I had to rock the boat, and there was a specific reason why I was kind of in a rut living there for like 15 years. But the changes that happened, that rut was actually pretty nice. I would love to go back to that rut that I was in. Uh, you know, it's like I was ready for a change, so I made a change, and then it just didn't work out. Uh, yeah, I was talking about the circumstances surrounding that, why I made that change and stuff. But the person involved, it's like, you know, it's really not fair to them to put that out, even though they'll never watch it, never see this. It's not fair to them to put that out there. You know, it's like there was TMI in that 2 hour and 12-minute video that maybe shouldn't have been there. And I don't have an editing program on here anymore. I'm more concerned with, I don't know, bleeding in places I shouldn't be bleeding. You know, I was actually kind of relieved that I felt feverish and sick and stuff. I thought, like, this is something new, man. This is some new kind of problem because of the circumstances surrounding it. If it's a familiar devil, the devil but it's a bad one. And yeah, it took me a long time to get over this before. I think it took me two different antibiotics, because um, that's what happened. Is I went to the emergency room and I went through two different courses of antibiotics for it because I went to the emergency room and then I got the antibiotics they gave me, and I had yeah, that's right. I had an argument with the doctor. Not an argument. I just questioned, like, why are you giving me this particular antibiotic when they gave me this kind before? And then, like, I was waiting in there for so long, and then the person that was my foster brother had to go to work. And I mean, it had to be like 6 hours. And they just kept me waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's like, by the time they asked me about pain pills, you know, or I asked about pain pills, and then, like, there was more waiting. And then they came back and they gave me my discharge papers. And I'm like, there's no scripts here about pain pills. And she's like, I can go ask the doctor again. Or not again. She said, I can just go ask your doctor about it. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm with here. I'm here with somebody that's got to go to work in the morning. It's like, I don't think he waited out there for like the whole 6 hours. I think he drove home, or I don't remember. But point is, this dude had to get up for work in the morning, so I just was like, no, I'm not waiting around on the off chance that you'll give me pain pills. It's like I must have pissed that guy off. He seemed a little pissed off, but doctors don't like being questioned and whatnot. So he gave me this antibiotic and then didn't give me any pain pills. And even though I asked him for pain pills, he didn't give me any pain pills. And then the nurse came in, gave me my discharge papers, and I said, "There's no script." And she's like, I can go ask the guy." And I'm like, "I already asked the guy." I'm like, "I got to get out of here," you know. And then so I went through that course of antibiotics, and I think I already had an appointment scheduled with my doctor It's too long ago. I don't remember. It's at least 3 years ago. And so I went to my regular doctor and I got a different antibiotic off of him. So I took like 2 courses of antibiotics to get rid of it. And yeah, so it's hard to get rid of. So it's not like something I can not go to the doctor for because it could linger on for like ever. You can sit there and have like feel like you got kicked in the nuts like a half hour ago for like weeks. Or, you know, you go to the emergency room for 5 hours and suffer through various humiliations. And maybe you'll get antibiotics for sure. You might get pain pills. That's a coin flip. But, I remember questioning that doctor and like it not going well. You know, I don't know. Maybe I have a grading personality. I don't know. But, yeah. The last guy I saw I had words with was the guy that wrenched my knee. It's like, all I asked him was, you know what that medication is for? And he took offense to it. And it's like, is it me? You know? Is it the way I phrase things? It's the directness. It's like, is it the actual people that I'm encountering? Is Are they the ones with the problems? I don't know. And right now, I don't care. I just want this to stop. I just, I just want this to stop. Uh, yeah. This is one of them things like where you get arrhythmia and you're like, you want to deny it, but you're like, I got to get it over with. I got to go to the emergency room. But this isn't like, it's not like arrhythmia in the sense like arrhythmia is really, this is just pain. Arrhythmia is like really disturbing experience if you can feel it. It's like, it's horrible. If you can actually feel your heart not beating correctly, it's horrible. This is just like pain and it doesn't stop. And yeah, how am I not supposed to get depressed though? Like, go to your old doctor who you're used to gets thrown in jail, so you got to go find a new doctor. You find a new doctor, you go to him, and he hurts your knee rather than helping it. And you find out he's not even a doctor. He's probably something called a physician's assistant, which they just told me to call him Jeff. That's what um, my psychiatric nurse said. Is like he's probably a physician's assistant, and like everybody just called him Jeff or Jeff Wilhelm. So yeah, I mean, how am I not supposed to be depressed? And how am I not supposed to be like not wanting to walk on a leg that's all fucked up and you know not wanting to try to take showers in a tiny little shower that's made for like people that are 5 feet tall where you're all cramped up and there's not even a room for a shower chair in it, so you're filthy. I mean, I really don't have any excuse except for maybe shame or something, which doesn't even make any sense since she's the one that kind of let it get that way. But, I wasn't making, I don't know, there's something just weird about making somebody clean your bathroom. I mean, uh, I don't know. That's on me. That's on me and my own, like, weird picadillos as far as personality quirks. I also seem to have bit my lip in my sleep, I think, like right here. So, like I said, I actually feel better. I mean, I'm hanging on here just for something to do, but I actually feel better than I have. It's just I feel better like physically, except for I'm in more pain. If you can understand that. I mean, I felt like chills and fever and stuff like that. I'm just in more pain now. Uh, I mean, people go to the emergency room over the stupidest damn things. So I could just go to the I could just ask. I can complain about my heart and maybe have her give me a ride in the emergency room and drop me off there tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. Take a bunch of dope, make it more tolerable. Uh, it's unfortunate. I mean, obviously I can agonize about this for however long. You know, there's no talking yourself out of it, man. When you feel like you just got kicked in the nuts, there's no talking yourself out of that. Let's see how long I've been hawing around on here, like 46 minutes. When all I could have said was like, "Yeah, same old, same old." I got this another problem, another emergency room visit, more humiliation, torture, more trusting the medical community, the medical medici, which I don't trust them. Uh, you know, to even give me like proper pain pills for something like this. You know, it's not. I actually have to inspect myself to see if the swelling's setting in or what the hell's going on. But there's no question I got some kind of infection going on. And there's no question about the pain and where the pain's at, even with my body, which my body is very confusing at times. That's what it is. You know, in more pain now than I was yesterday, even though I feel better otherwise. Yeah, there's no reason to hang on here. It's just, sometimes a lot of things hit you at once. And, yeah, since that dude hurt my knee, just having my hygiene slipped. And you have to be careful. And like I said, I wasn't. And, yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to go. There's no help for something like this except for go through it and hopefully, I don't know, man. It's just like stuff like this just keeps happening. So naturally, I've been done for a long time, frankly. I mean, and that's why I don't keep a gun in the house. I'm just done with it all. It's just like nothing works out family wise, living circumstances wise. I'm not even supposed to be living here, you know. I'm not even supposed to be still here. Financial wise, it's just nothing seems to be working out for me. And yeah, it's like, trying gets to be really hard after you get failure after failure after failure. Or like you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, and things are actually getting worse. And you don't want, I'm kind of done with it all anyway. It's like I'm kind of done. I'm kind of like at this point. I mean, why should I give a fuck? I mean, why, really, really, why should I give a fuck? I mean, it's not going to get better from here on out. Of course, I'm not going to be thinking clearly right now, but actually, I am thinking clearly because things do not get easier, they do not get better when you get older, just for anybody. Like my friend who's like 65, 66, worried about going blind. You know, he's has to get treatments on his eyes. You know, that's a guy that's taking exquisite care of his health to the point of like he's winning cop decathlons and stuff and beating people that are 20 years younger than him. So old age is rough on anybody, but when you got diseases and stuff, so it's not like, you know, it's not like I'm being a negative Nelly here, because things are just going to get worse. It's just the way it is when you have a disease. And, you know, I wouldn't be being honest with you if I didn't say that, yeah, I would be better off out of here. You know, I mean, I continue to hang around. It would just be a little encouraging if something would go right. You know, nothing has really gone right for a very long time. I mean, you watch these things. I mean, some of y'all have been watching these things for a while. It's like, I am one snake bit motherfucker. It's like, like I said, I don't take it personally. I don't think the universe is deliberately trying to pull my legs off and or squash me like a bug, or rather, more accurately, pull my legs off like a cruel child um, playing with an ant. Uh, but at times, it gets to be a bit much. You know, I don't know what. You know, I'm not. I've never been brave. I ain't no Superman. I mean, I'm worn out. I'm worn out by family. I'm worn out by my physical situation. I'm worn out by my living circumstances. The financial thing is no big deal, but yeah, I didn't play that right. It hasn't worked out for me here lately. But I put effort into things, and they get worse. So you know, I tried to quit benzos, and like I end up living in a fucking drug house trying to quit drugs. You know, I try to get help with my leg, and they do a procedure on it. It doesn't work, and then I get passed around. Go to other orthopedists. They don't want. They're like, go off and die. You know, we don't want. We don't want to help you. It's like, do you want? I don't know if they think they can help me, but why wouldn't you even want to look at me? I don't even know what's wrong with me. You know what I mean? I don't even know what's in there. Those tests are old. Those tests I had are like a year and a half old. They were looking at. Or they don't even want to take new tests and see what's like different in there. You know, so, like I said, I don't even know if I'm hurting myself or helping myself by walking on this thing. I just know my leg blew up when I walked on it because I was like, you know, got some bad news. Okay, we're gonna have to live with this leg, so let's do something positive and let's, you know, walk for 25 to 30 minutes a day, which I did, and so I started bleeding out of my special little friend. So, you know, and I started feeling like I had a fever, even though the thermometer was telling me otherwise. It's like 99.3. Well, you can't really call that a fever. What a miserable little video this is. But I got to be honest, and at least it's not 2 hours plus worth of honesty. It's less than an hour if I get off of here now. What can I tell you, man? Uh, there's nothing really positive to take from this. It's just like just being honest about my situation. And I'll probably see you later on down the road, but I don't know how much later. I think I got some things I got to deal with. Luckily, it's a thing and not things, if you know what I'm saying. As far as I know, there's only one of the poor little guys, not both of them, that's got the problem. And he's still a little guy and not a big guy. So, I don't know what that means. Every other time I had it, swells up. It's funny, like in the medical, uh, if you look up epididymitis, it says swells up to the size of a peach. And I'm like, okay, then. I don't know why you gotta compare it to low hanging fruit. You know, I should have worked it in a joke since that's a popular phrase, low hanging fruit. But I don't feel very jokey. Um, there certainly was a joke in there somewhere. But yeah, I'm off, and I'm off, and I'm gone, and I'll probably see you in a few days when we get this sorted out. Hopefully, I can get it sorted out. I, man, I'm just picturing the emergency room visit and the torture and the touching and the examination and the ultrasound that they usually insist upon doing. And the, gotta take some blood, gotta take some urine, and they want you to, it's just very complicated to be in me. It's even complicated, like they want a urine sample. Well, for most people, it's not that complicated. For me, that's complicated trying to figure out how to do that in bed because you're kind of stuck in bed because they got IVs in your arm and shit. It's like who wouldn't want to opt out of this, especially like somebody my age. Like I've already had a life. It didn't go well. I'm supposed to keep trying when everything just goes wrong, and I'm heading into the harder part of my life. You know, this is what my life is now, and what my life was before with surgeries and various catastrophes and chronic disease and stuff. It's like, seriously? Uh, Anyways, like I said, I'll be back around in a few days. I can't say when. And what's the point of making something like this besides honesty? And I mean, it can't be fun to watch. Well, maybe it is fun to watch other people suffer. I don't know. I've been watching the guy that stings himself with insects and rolls around on the ground that calls himself Coyote. I guess he's like one of them internet sensation guys that escaped my notice. So maybe it is fun watching other people suffer. I don't know. Or like just the commiseration factor. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I just been watching the guy sting himself with executioner wasps and giant desert scorpions, or no, centipedes, and stuff like that. So, yeah. when I don't know, man. Like I said, give myself some time to get some perspective, and I'm just tired of it. Frankly, I'm just tired of it. Tired of things not going right. I'm tired of being rejected by the medical community. I'm tired of like not getting help when I reach out for help from like different agencies trying to get help moving, and I can't even call my family and talk about this because I can't trust them. I mean, you know, I suppose I could call my best friend and ask him to take me to the emergency room, but then I still got the same problems. Like this really isn't an emergency type of thing. It feels like an emergency room type of thing because you're in like severe pain, but you know, I'm just hanging on here for no reason. So, like I said, it'll be a few days. Goodbye.